That's what they said, not me. I didn't say it. And I believe there was also this emergency use deal that went on their vote the other day. And if I'm not mistaken, yesterday, and of course it passed. And they always preface it by saying this is within the best interest of the people. And it goes to show two things out of all this. One, again, one side has a moronic belief about the police. Because if they were who you thought they were, if there's anybody they'd be arresting, it'd be Justin Trudeau. And on the other side, you have just people that still think democracy is a good thing. As if it's not just tyranny by way of the majority, even if those people that you put in those positions you got to vote for also by way of a majority is not equal to freedom. It never has been. It's antithetical to freedom. The fact that so much stuff is put to a vote and then you're overruled and the acts of aggression are put upon you. You know, I'm not saying this is a doom and gloom kind of situation. More so what I'm saying is or rather as I want people to acknowledge the reality, because only then can you come up with a legitimate solution. I think the police aspect needs to stop being protected by this, because you're really the only side that does that, conservatives. Protect them like that, because, again, often it's at a response because nothing you do is actually on your own will. It's always in response to what the left does. So they have fucking conjured you in or tricked you into taking a position that's antithetical to your own even goals. Again, you're under a moronic impression if you don't think police would do that shit. If the state said, hey, these are our rules, and this case, remember, it always comes back to, and this whole deal got started because of the acts of aggression. Sorry about that. That's my Twitch notifications going off. But this all started with the acts of aggression by way of the state wanting to, or coercing people into getting injected with something that they didn't want to get. So the act of is initiatory by way of them. And you have the other folks, which was the truckers, were responding to this directly, saying, we got to do something that's in our power to try to stop this. And the people that you thought were serving and protecting you were the folks that were sent out there. And you got everybody wants to conjure up their conspiracy theories because they just cannot believe that the police would drag your bitch ass up out of the trucks. So, there were some planes with some UN officers and all this. It wasn't really shut the fuck up, man. We already saw folks with boots on the ground, man. We know the fucking police had an Ottawa police are sitting there having press conferences telling you what they gonna do. Stop it. Stop being under this delusion that they wouldn't do it when they continue to do the shit. So often we hear, there's these people that are within the police force. They agree with us. They're really standing hand in hand with us on this issue. And then they go silent. Maybe it's because they were never on your side. Whatever optics, I guess, looks good for them, they'll entertain it. Their unions entertain it. But ultimately, they don't give a shit about you. You don't pay them. You know? I want you to work towards a solution in this regard. And in order to, and this is about liberty, ultimately, is what all this is about. But if you can acknowledge, historically speaking, it's always been this. It's always going to be the police and the military. The same folks you worship are going to be the people that the elites send on you in the event that they want to enforce something. It ain't going to be, what you think, Justin Trudeau is going to get out there on the streets and drag you out? No. And yet we accept, or y'all accept, this cycle of bullshit where it's like, well, they can't do anything. It's just their jobs. And it's like, if they were who you thought they were, it requires nothing of them. And maybe it is a sacrifice and from a paycheck standpoint, but to do nothing, it's not required much. It doesn't require much of them. Let's say that, to just sit up there and say, you know what? I am not going to enforce these nonsensical rules. But they continue, and time again, you get more and more examples of them doing it. And still you have folks coming out of this with the delusion that they are on your side. I'd encourage you to reconsider. is the point that I want to make, and that's what Canada teaches us. Reconsider. We got a 20 DKK.